Mario has a question. I'm a 37-year-old guy who trains mainly for strength and looks. I'm hoping body composition looks. But as I approach middle age, well, okay, you're going to live to be 74, okay. I want to maximize my remaining prime years and lay the groundwork now good for what awaits me in 10 years. 47, still young, son. In your opinion, what is harder to improve past the age of 45, strength or muscle mass? And how would you lay out the training years so that I can maximize my potential in both areas before I switch into more maintenance mode from 50 upwards? Yeah, actually, I've noted this many times. I break the years down a little bit differently. I go basically from birth to 16. That's when you should learn as many sports and games as you can. You should learn as many lifts as you can, calisthenics, running, jumping, everything, bike riding, rowing boats, as many things you can. 17 to 35, that's your prime real estate years. I think that's a good time to do ballistic things, including, this is when you should be doing collision sports and collision occupations. You can Olympic lift now. You could do the kettlebell ballistics. Where you're at, 35 to 55, and you're right, and this is important. This is the second group, I break it down. This is when it's really important to get something I call everyday strength. If you were to take 6 months off, Mario, and come back, what would you lift in 3 days? Well, whatever those numbers are in 3 days, that's your everyday strength. And that's one of the, outside of investments, that's one of the best investments you can make in your life. I mean, if you take 6 months off and, work out 3 times and you've got good solid numbers in a press, a squat, a hinge movement, a suitcase carry, a chin up, pull up or something like that. You don't lose much. That's a good foundation. That's your investment. That's your everyday strength. And that's going to stick around a long time. You took 6 months off and it stayed, that's going to stay a while. So the most important thing I think you can build up in your age range is not just getting as strong as you can, but being as strong as you can, kind of as easy as you can, as simply as you can, strength that will stick, have some stickiness to it. After 56, of course, I recommend, and this is what I'm doing, you really focus on lean body mass. I lift weights 2 to 3 days a week, 3 days a week almost universally. I walk at least 10,000 steps a day. I eat 2,600 calories. I do joint mobility every day. I use a sauna to actually help me with mobility work. I do mobility work in the sauna. Don't break. Where you're at in your age right now, the most important thing you can do, well, there's a couple of givens of ways, I've done this with my hand and ignored. First off, Art Devaney said it better than I ever. Don't get fat in the first place. Do your best. If you're not where you need to be on body fat percents, and I honestly don't even know what the numbers are anymore, because I'll go to some places online, they'll say, could you imagine being that fat? He's 10% body fat. Yeah, really. I liked Josh Hillis's numbers for women. He always talked about 19% being rock star hot, and I'm amazed when you'll see a woman at 19%, and I got to tell you, Josh is right. Certainly, women can get a lot leaner than that. It doesn't. It's a style, and that's fine. Usually, competitors. For men, I get water weighed because that was the system I grew up with. But now with these DEXAs, you can get a lot more information. I don't know much else. I send my coach my body weight, my measurements, and a photo every week. And I find that the photo, and this is right out of Frank Zane, the great Mr. Olympia's insights, I find the photo to be the most, that's true. Measurements, my measurements, my waistline seem to go up and down. It's like blood pressure, all I look for on measurements is the trend. I want my waistline to go this way, and I want, certain other things to go that way. But where you want to be right now is, yes, I want you to be as strong as you can. Yes, I want that, but not at the expense. I don't want you to weigh, over 300 pounds so you can bench 225. I mean, I want you to be a lean, mean fighting machine as best you can, okay? A little Stripes reference for you. Long term, the investments for most of my listeners, and when I look at, YouTube gives us statistics, and I know who my readership is. A lot of my readership is in this 35 to 55 age range. And folks, at that age range, powerlifting is fine, Olympic lifting is fine, kettlebells are fine, machines are fine, everything's fine. But make sure in that cohort, you're striving for strength at the same time as you're doing the two-arm push away from desserts, appetizers, or whatever chips or crisps or whatever your thing is. Push away. You got to really keep an eye on that. Staying lean in that time is as important as anything. It's going to help with your long-term blood profiles. Interesting. My eye doctor the other day. My vision has improved in this time that I've been losing a pound a month for 4 years now. Because my blood sugar is under better control, and when your blood sugar is in better control, less damage to the eyes, I guess. At least that's what he thinks. And that's kind of cool, I thought. For those of us over 56, now's time to train like you see online. It's time to bodybuild. Let those reps. Now, if you come in, Mario, at my age and you're still really strong and you start adding high reps, good things happen, okay? When people ask me what builds muscle, heavy weights or high reps, my answer is always yes. Heavy weights with high reps builds muscle. Not a lot of people like that, but I think it's true. Okay, great question. I hope that helped.